Petronella Leverton, and for my science fair, I chose to do birds and feathers. The purpose of this project was to collect feathers and learn about those birds. Feathers have different jobs, and there are many different types of feathers. Feathers have to be taken care of like people have to take care of them themselves. They have to be washed or cleaned by a process called pruning. Archaeologist Calibris is known better as the ruby-throated hummingbird, is the smallest bird in the world. They are a migratory bird and migrate from North America to Central America. It's about 2,000 kilometers, and they do it in one flight. A flock of hummingbirds is called a shiver. It takes them about 4 to 5 days, depending on their speeds. They are incredibly fast birds at 48 kilometers an hour, but when diving can reach speeds of 101 kilometers an hour. That is faster than a cheetah can run. Their bones are so tiny they can't walk or hop, and that's why they can fly such large distances. Their max flight is about 3,000 kilometers. They have about 940 feathers and have emerald green feathers all over their body. Beside the gorget, or known as the throat, males have ruby-throated feathers there, and shed them usually after breeding season. Pavocristatus, or the peacock, has different names for the gender or age of the peacock. A male peacock is called a peafowl, a female peacock is called a peahen, and a baby peacock is called a peacock. There are 3 species: Pavocristatus, the blue peacock; Pavomuticus, the green peacock; and Pavocongensis, the Congo peacock. The blue peacock is the most common peacock. They are found in Burma, Indonesia, and 203 centimeters from ground to feet, which is head to toe. Pavomuticus, or the green peacock, is 203 centimeters like the blue peacock, and is also found in Indonesia. They are also found in Hawaii. Pavocongensis, or the Congo peacock, is 203 centimeters like the other peacocks and was found less than a century ago, 1936. Peacocks make many different types of sounds, but not all of them with their throats. As you can tell here, those tail feathers, which have the ocelli, are called train feathers. But when peacocks do this to scare away predators or impress peahens, and they shake their tail feathers against their train feathers, and it makes a rattling sound called train rattle. That's the part about it. Well, I also chose this bird because I got to go to Hawaii with my mom, and I got to see, I went to the Iolani Palace, where the royal family used to live, and Princess Kailani's peacock dress fascinated me. She's often called the Peacock Princess, and it has thousands and thousands of feathers laid across the front or the cape. The eastern wild turkey, or Melagris gallopavo, lives its habitat in mature forests high up in the trees. It glides down early in the mornings to forage for food. They usually eat acorns, insects, and similar to those. It has a very good camouflage, and they're usually blacks, browns, dark browns, some white, and mostly brown. They use that to camouflage from predators. They have incredible hearing and can hear many yards away. They can also see incredibly well. They are cautious and wary birds and always on the lookout for danger. Male turkeys puff up their feathers, fan their tails, and puff up their feathers to impress females, which they usually shed their feathers after breeding season. I chose this bird because my friend Mr. Brandon took me hunting, and I got my hunter's graduate. Early in the morning, I got to watch turkeys glide down from the trees and forage for food. Chickens. There are 25 billion Gallus domesticus around the world, or better known as a chicken. They've been domesticated for 8,000 years and probably originated from the red jungle fowl. They are also the closest living relative to the T-Rex. So cool. They have different names for the ages of chicken. A baby female chicken is called a pullet, and a baby male chicken is called a cockerel. An adult male is called a rooster, and an adult female is called a hen. Chickens are monovisual, which means they're far-sighted or nearsighted. Do you think they're nearsighted or far-sighted? They're both, actually. Because in the egg, one of the eyes is faced towards the body, which is nearsighted, and the other eye is faced away from the body, and light shines through the shell, and then it touches the eye, which makes it farsighted. Factory-raised chickens only live for about 42 days, because it takes them 4 to 8 months to reach maturity. 2,000 chickens are slaughtered all around the world. They don't have a bladder, and they urinate and feces out of their large intestine. They have about 120 bones, and their bones are porous, which means they're part of the respiratory system. Do you see what it says? I don't think you're a chicken. Chickens can see, like they're monovisual, like I said. They can see just as well as humans, but unlike humans, they can see ultraviolet light, which humans can't see black light. And I chose this bird because my grandma has a lot of chickens, and I kind of wanted to brag about how much I love chickens. Strixvaria, or barred owl, is an opportunistic predator, which means they often change their style of hunting or foraging for food. A group of owls is called a parliament, but this owl usually stays by itself for most of the year. They lay about 2 to 3 eggs, but sometimes up to 5. It takes 30 days for one to hatch and 30 days for one to leave the nest. They live in North America. They can fly silently, and I watched a video about it where they had high-tech microphones, and they had a pigeon, a hawk, and an owl fly by, specifically the barred owl, and they have downy feathers on the floor, and downy feathers are incredibly light feathers, and when the pigeon flew down, all the feathers flew into the air, and same with the hawk. But the barred owl flew across it silently, and this shocked the scientists. And they figured out why, because if you put out your arms like this, your body, instead of being this big, will be this big. Then we need one beat of a wing to fly incredibly far. Like we have fingers, they move them around and how they glide around. They usually glide most of the time. And I chose this bird for the same reason as the chicken, because where my grandma lives in South Carolina, she has many around there, and I wanted to learn more about them. So I wanted to do an owl, and I'm interested by owls and how they fly silently. And that's a little bit about my birds. And like I said, I chose these birds because they're beautiful, they're special, and have really unique features. And these birds are truly fabulous feathered fowl.
Very nice, Ella. Thank you.